Here is the big old US of A. USA. Here's Florida. Okay, you like my drawing. I know you do. I know you fucking love my drawing of the USA. Don't even say you don't. You love the way Texas is sort of a blob. Let's give it a little dingle at the bottom for Texas. Okay. USA, federal government, spends money into existence. We've already shown you that. We already know the federal government spends that money into existence. However, we have the state of Maryland. I don't know, something like that. There's the panhandle or whatever. Maryland does not create its own currency. It needs tax dollars. Maryland also has lots and lots of things that it needs to spend money on. And so it needs to do some things to attract tax revenue into its state. So you want to lure business. What is one way to lure business? Cut taxes, right? So what happens when I cut taxes? Oh, wait a minute. I have to cut spending. So what happens when some jackwad comes and tells you they want to do state by state healthcare? What would happen if somebody that said they wanted state by state healthcare didn't understand this? Now let me throw in another monkey wrench. Texas, whatever the fuck its shape is, says, hey guys, we're willing to cut taxes to the gills, man. We're going to cut taxes. And then all of a sudden Florida comes through and says, hey, no income tax. Maryland's sitting there trying to figure out how to lure business there. And they better hope that proximity to the nation's capital is a good deal. But otherwise, businesses from here leave to go to Florida, leave to go to Texas, leave to go to Kansas, where Brownback cut taxes. Okay? And guess what happens to places like Detroit, Michigan? Detroit, Flint, Rust Belt. What happens? Fucking layoffs, massive economic failure, complete failure of entire cities, entire everything, all because some dicklick didn't fucking know that states don't create money. And since fucking states don't create fucking money, they have to get taxes. But because of the nature of the state by state fight, they have to cut taxes to bring taxes in. And because they did that, they had to cut spending. What does having a state-based healthcare system require? Increased spending. Increased taxes. And what are these guys doing? They're fleeing idiots that try to raise state taxes, not realizing that these guys are all in a death fight, a death match, to lure business into their fucking regions. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I am sick to fucking death of being told I'm just a bad guy. I'm sitting there fucking showing you, but some chucklehead that fucking doesn't know this stuff, well, how could you possibly know? Well, I'm smarter than you. How about that? I'm just fucking tired of saying it differently. I'm just smarter than you. Maybe that's it. Or maybe it's just that the fucking data is the deal. Maybe that's the deal. Maybe it's not about me being smarter. Maybe it's about you just simply not listening and paying attention. Maybe that's what it's really about, okay? So now, when you look, I'm going to show you this. Pensions. Wow, right? Pensions are underfunded, but they have requirements for pensions to be funded. Well, what's happening? State workers are not getting, they're not getting their pensions. In many cases, there's people fighting for their pensions because their pensions have been wiped out. Why? Because if you have a federal pension could just do what? Create money and pay for the damn thing. But unfortunately, they don't get it. And because they don't get it, when you try and explain this to them, they act like you're the bad guy. Like somehow or another, you're evil. You're the wrong one. You don't know what you're talking about. My God, what do you want? My kids' memory to suffer? What do you want us all to die? What's the problem? Why don't you want us to do state-by-state health care? And then I just go like this, but they won't listen. They won't pay attention. They won't nothing.